Happy Sunday, everyone that's in here. Um, Happy Sunday. And thank you for the support, really. Thank you really, really deeply for the support. Jamie, all right. Missing the Queen in the North. Here, easy to miss. Uh, and my best of Benjamin, too. He might be there. All right. Uh, it's just Merlin and me here. So I really appreciate the support, everyone. Um, we are in our own little foxholes. I got a cat in mine that somebody left behind here. So that's nice, sort of, unless you want to go somewhere, unless you want to travel or something. Oh, okay. I named this week's gathering um, Hypocrisy. And I'm going to go into some things today, and let's just see. Oh, what do you mean hypocrisy? What does that? What do you mean? Okay, well, what about hypo? What does that mean? It means under. Those are Greek, right? It means under, like hypodermic, under your dermis, under your skin. Hypo, under. Mike, good to have you here. Alan, getting the prayers in. We're going to go over some of those thoughts today. Happy day, John. God bless you and all who join. Jamer Baba, and praise Jesus Christ. Just reading the words, it makes me say a prayer. What? It's a prayer. And if I read it, it's a prayer. It's so good. Anyway, very clear, very legible, very good. Jamer Baba, nice. I get G to the house. Greetings, J Baba. Praise Jesus Christ. Good. Thanks for those prayers. That's really where the rubber hits the road. Our prayers, so good. Keep them up. Thank you. Okay, so hypocrisy again. So hypo is under, dermis, hypodermic, right under the skin. So hypo is under. Who's Chris? Who's this Christy guy? Or Chrissy guy? Who's the Chrissy guy? Hypocrisy. Who's Christ anyway? You know what I'm saying? So if Christ sets the standards here and you're not meeting them, but you say you are, right? No, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. So you're saying, no, I meet Christ's standards. Right? It's like, wait, no, you're not meeting Christ's standards. Just saying you're hipper. You're under Christ's standards. You're under that, right? You're under the moralist standards the only ones that matter, right? Christ. And so if you're not meeting those standards, but you say you are, you know, that makes you a hypocrite. Is that clear? Okay. Yeah, Pamela in the house. Great to have you. Really, thanks for the support, Pam. It's incredible. What a great matriarch this one. And the other, the twin piles in. Hi, John. Glad to be here. Blessings to all. How sweet, Pauletta. Great to have you here. It was an interesting gathering, wasn't it? Coming to Florida. If you come to India and you've been with me for 2 months, you know more about me and what's gonna happen around me. If you came to India, you were there for a week or 10 days, yeah, yeah, you got a pretty good idea too. Uh, if you only saw me for a day or two, maybe in Sarasota, you have some idea, but so it's interesting. The more time that was spends around me, then you know, it's just time. It's action based. It's experience based. So experiences. Oh, over time, more experiences. Yeah, that's it. So to take time out of your busy life, wherever you are, which isn't right where I am, to take that time to do it and so on and find out that information firsthand. I'm going to go check this out. really puts you as a complete opposite of a hypocrite, you know? In other words, you're gonna go find out I'm not under anything. I'm gonna go find out I'm not a hypocrite, right? I'm not under anything. I'm not under any spell or anything. I'm gonna go see, right? What is it? Missouri is a show me state. I'm gonna go find out. That's where Tammy lives, by the way. Sorry, maybe I should say where she lives. What I'm just saying, she's a show me lady. Um, she's great. Um, so respect to you for taking the time, whatever travels you did, whatever pilgrimage you did, or multiple. I can start making jokes about it because we're getting to know each other. The like everyone's job, including mine. Let's debunk that 64-year time loop. Let's get that thing has got to be easy to debunk. Let's just jettison that thing, and then the rest of the dominoes will fall, and I can go back to sort of chilling out a little bit. Like Mike says, the anxiety would come down, then maybe what I don't know, but it never does because you sort of settle into the situation of truth. So the Christ character is the one who reveals the truth. So you're not so hypo. You're not hypo is really anti, right? So if Christ is a embodiment of the truth, hey, you know what's really going on? What? I didn't know that. So if Christ is like the truth. Another word that could be synonymous in this is the truth. So you're anti-truth, hypo-truth. You're not under truth. You're substandard truth. No. Means anti. You're not for the truth. You're opposed to the truth, right? Hypocrite. It's like you're and that's this is particular point is it's mainly we think of hypocrisy as truth in action. In other words, you're saying you're doing one thing, but you're not really doing it. Yeah. Like, how did you get that, castle, church, whatever you call it over there, and the whole right in the middle of town and all that? How did you do that? Like, wait a second. How's that possible? When you start thinking it through and you find out who's with Christ and who isn't, then you really get more of an understanding of what's going on in the game. So that's why, uh, my goal is that you win the game. That's it. That's what Christ is here. Hey, shepherd, get through the gate. You see the sheep? No, it's not. You're in the pen now, and I'm trying to get you in the gate that doesn't put you in the pen, but gets you out of the pen. You're right out of the penitentiary, out of the pen. Out you go into the pasture there, and it'll be fine. Just God is there. It's like, yeah, what? Yeah, no. So I'm gonna go over my notes here for a second because I wanna follow this train of thought. And I wanna give you like knowledge is power. So it takes some time to transfer this information. Even if it's instantaneous so you get connected to God, there's still you gotta process it. I just the one who's been processing that information longest. And so, everyone's had some in here has had some experience, with God on the other side, or they wouldn't be here. And so I'm trying to give you the tools and knowledge, so your framework stays solid. The more times you go see God, you come back, you're like, but you don't break down or anything. You know what's happening. You can process it and move forward in your actions and keep marching forward towards God, like, wow, because we're in the tunnel of love towards God, and it's like more stuff starts happening. You're like, wait a second, and it seems blocked up ahead. It's like, no, keep walking. It only appears blocked. So let me check my notes here. I'm gonna keep going. So a long time ago, I said, if you're not with me, you're against me. Meaning I'm Christ. Meaning if you're not on my side of the line over here with truth, that you're against me, you're opposed to, you're anti me. There is a line. There's one team, there's another team, and that's it, really, pretty much. And then there's just like, you know, is a bush really on on a team or a tree? Are they really on a team? Are non-player characters really on a team? Not really, So good to have you, Jason. Uh, Glad you made it. Okay, so that's what I mean by it. So the one of the attribute, one of the responsibilities of Christ is to, I get the sword of judgment. So I'm the gatekeeper. I'm like the line in the sand. I'm the bouncer. I'm the bouncer, right? It's like that guy scares me. It's like the bouncer's supposed to scare you. What? He's supposed to make you a little nervous or whatever. Yep. Shoop, off with the head. He's got a sword. Yeah, he does. Thanks, Sean. A little late, but very glad to be here now. Good, good. We're just going over hypocrisy. Uh, so I'm going to stay with this train of thought. Uh, so me as a gatekeeper, right? This is the truth. You don't want the truth, so it's like, oh, we need someone in a human form to, you know, uh, play the character of the truth and be like, okay, in here or out of here. You know what I mean? Every section of the carnival has a spot, has a ride. And I'm the one that's like, you want truth? So that's the spot where I am. And so I'm always like, thinking about, oh, you want to ride this ride? It's like you got to be this tall. Your heart has to be this big, and you have to be with God. Can you say God's name? Oh, you can't. Okay, well, maybe another time, youngin. Okay, little one, go over there. I know you're very tall, but you're still a little one spiritually. Off you go. Sorry, you weren't you weren't this tall spiritually, so could continue with yeah, on to the next ride or so. Sorry about that. See you another time. Right? And so the bouncer is the one who says whether you cross the line or you don't cross cross the line. Right? Cross the line. What does that mean? Cross the line. Right? You're with the 64-year time loop guy. You cross over with you go with the cross or you don't. So why else would they call it cross the line? Uh, so I meant to look this up and read the quote exactly. Shoot, but there's a quote that uh, I should look it up. Let's see if it pops up. Boom. Okay, I can't find it. So, all right, I'm not seeing it, so I'll just have to continue on. But there's a quote I see, so I'll just mess it up a bit. And it's Mayor Baba, hit that character, uh, said, whether you call me, Satan or whether you call me Christ doesn't affect who I am. Does it, you know? Same over here. It's like it affects you. You see it say if you head up to the front of the line and you want to cross the line and you interact with who's, at the line, who does the gatekeeper change? No, he's just standing at the line. That's all. What happens? You cross the line or you don't. Yeah. So something happens on your side, not on my side. Cross the line or you don't. Get a little further to the line. Well, oh, yeah, you can't cross right now, but stand over there. You're cool. It's like, what, what happens? It's something happens to because you come to Christ and either under what's said or you're rejected. I reject it. That's not true. I reject it. Yeah. Okay. And so, if you don't listen to the truth, if you don't listen to God, it's like you're not God. No, I know, but I'm one with God, and I'm just telling you the truth. And this we're the 64 time, blah 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 blah. That's bullshit. You ain't okay. Yeah, okay, okay. Over there, you know what I mean? Go into the recasting area, right? And cast a cast of characters. Yeah, who's in a cast? A bunch of characters. Yeah. So go to the recasting. Don't worry, will the liquid, the ocean will become solid again. We'll have the whole game right in there. Earth will go again. Summer of love. Boom. Recast. Into line together. And they're like, yes. uh so I am who I am. It's a funny thing, but that is who I am. Is that my name? Maybe, maybe, maybe. And what does that mean? I am who I am. I am who I am. What does that mean? I told you I'm never born, I never die, and I'm always here. So if I'm always here, wait a second, am I the devil? You see what I'm saying? Mir Mama says Christ casts a shadow, basically, and that's the devil. Like the opposite. We're in duality. The opposite of truth can exist here. Lies can exist here. They can't exist with God. What? They can in non-duality, lies don't exist. Here lies exist, right? The whole cast of lying characters. You can go for whatever you want. That exists here. Uh, and so, whatever you call me my shadow, call me, you know, the truth, whatever. It doesn't affect who I am or the game or anything. It affects you. So I am who I am means I'm always here. It's funny. Like Gypsy's always riding me. I don't know if he's in here, but he's always riding me lately. He's been seeing me a lot lately. And he's God's favorite. I hear that a lot. I'm very lot. And I say everyone God's favorite. God loves everyone equally. That's the truth. That's my answer to him. It's not God doesn't love me more because I'm playing a character Christ or you less. That's not true. God is infinite love. It's like, let me give you a smidge under infinite. That's what has explain that one to me. I don't I don't think you understand God. You see? So this in this game where lies can exist and seemingly not infinite love and God doesn't exist here and all that. It seems like that's real. Oh, okay. But uh, the truth always exists, God always exists. And this place starts and stops. The lies begin and end. But God never ceases for one second. God is outside of time. Uh, everyone else changes characters. I'm gonna start to break down in our talk today. I'm gonna start to break down attributes, okay, of who's in here and what are the different attributes, who could cross the line and get to God, and so on. I'm gonna go over some things, okay, and hopefully I'll get you some clarity today. Uh, everyone else changes character. Yes, even the devil changes character. In other words, the consciousness inside of it changes. Yes, changes. I'm the only one that don't change it here. Everyone else is going to play. Uh, another character, another time, and keep progressing forward. At one point, they're going to go home to God, and oh, you see, that's going to happen, and I don't. Uh, and so that wouldn't be fair unless I'm, hey, you got to be not separate from God while you're in there. It's like, wait, you're not separate from God while you're in there. That's a cheat code, dude. You can't get up in that business up in here. That's cheat code. It's like, yeah, a cheat code, but it comes with being here. In other words, during a 64-year time loop, if this is going on, I'm here. It's like, oh, okay, there is that day or period, part of a day in here where I'm not. And there's moments, some moments, a couple hours when my body's here and I'm over with God and I get tossed back in here. I reach the seventh plane, blah, blah, all the different. Okay. Momentarily, I'm not here. That doesn't happen for everyone else. I only go to the seventh plane while I'm here. Yeah. Everyone else is like, hey, welcome home. You're not going to put me back in there, are you? It's like, nope, not going to put you back in there. Do you want to go back in there? If you tell me to, I would. So, you know, everyone else changes. I would say the only ones I don't know about changes are the five perfect paths. Oh no, they don't. That's right. You're right about that. They never change. Isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? What a yeah, I felt that about Sridhar myself. So oh, I see what you're saying. 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 Oh, okay. So of course the devil's one of the five perfect masters. Toy. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. So the top echelon, the top characters, maybe they don't change, eh? Which is that's cool. That's good. They know me. So maybe okay. So they don't change. Okay, all right. So we got some permanents. We got a few lifers, anti-lifers. Okay. So that time off is imperative to the Perrys. But I don't change character. You see what I'm saying? The point being that the others change characters. Five perfect bastards. I suppose they don't. Uh, Point I'm getting at in delineating some of these character roles is so that you can see the different attributes of the different characters. Some of them being let's talk about. I'm going to call this different existences. Different existences, like as a category so that you could help break this down mentally. Okay. So non-player characters here. What are the who's a non-player character? What are some attributes so you can see who's who up in this game real quick? You follow? Just real quick, who's who? Okay. Non-player characters, they have their memory wiped. They have their memory wiped. When they come into the game, memory wipe. They have a memory wipe. They do. Non-player characters have a memory wipe. Boom. Okay. Uh, okay. Another attribute of a non-player character is they're not going off script. They're not going off script. They're not gonna. You're not gonna go, hey, you know what? Rainbows prove we're inside a crystal dome. Christ crystal. They'd be like, boink, bounces off of them, right? Boing, boing, just like rubber. Boom and off. Water off a neck back. Whoosh, whoosh. None of that's going in. Yeah, you seen it. You seen it. You seen it. Okay. So these are different existences in human form. Different individuals are living different existences, and you have to see who's who to delineate, oh, who am I going to spend time with? Or if I'm spending time with them, what are their limitations and who are they and stuff like that? Because, right, we're supposed to be spending our time, i.e., our actions, on things that get us to the door and get us home to God. Yeah? Okay. Like, sure does bounce off of it. It does. It does. So that's why I talk about these different existences. So you could be like, hey, God made them, not you, not you, not you. So don't feel like they should be like you. No, they're different than you. And it's obvious they're different. And so don't go, you know, try to impact one of them and taking your time to do it and think you can impact them when it's completely not possible because it's not an attribute they possess. That is simply they don't possess it, period. Okay. All right. So let's keep going over some of this, okay? Now, memory wipe refers to what planes? The mental planes, eh? The mental planes, the mental planes, the mental planes. Okay. Now here's the thing that non-player characters cannot do. Cannot do. Cannot do. Cannot do. Non-player characters cannot read minds. Can't read mind. Can't read mind. Can't read minds. They don't have that sixth sense. Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have it. So that's memory wipe refers to the mental plays. Can't read minds. Can't read minds. You're like, wait, that minds relates to the mental plays. Not really. Not really. That relates to the subtle realm, i.e., that it's a power. Eh? It's a power. It's a power that they have control of. A memory wipe is something they don't have control of. So that's like on the mental realms closer to God. It's an automatic thing that happens. Eh? Okay. So that's you see non-player characters. So that's memory wipe, can't read minds, can't grow off script. You with me? Easy to see them. Westside pointed out. You relate this to your experience, so you go, okay, they're living a different existence. Why am I thinking they're living my existence when obviously they are not living your existence? They're not. Okay. The main difference between a non-player character and someone who can go to God in the game is what? You had your memory wipe, yeah? You can't read minds, nope. So what? You could go off script. You see what I'm saying? So where you're delineating yourself between who's who and what's what and who you're interacting with out there. Non-player character type, okay, okay. They can't go off script. And they had their memory wiped. Yeah. And they had their memory wiped. Yeah. And they can't read minds. Three of them together, you see, you don't know who's who until you put them all together. Yeah. Okay. The fallen angels, the fallen angels, no memory wipe. No memory wipe. No memory wipe. They know the whole script. They know the whole script. They know their script and the whole script. They know, you know, Apple's gonna go like this. They don't care. They could go have money in a second if they wanted to, and they could play a character without money and without food. Because they could go get it any second of any day. They can. They know the whole script. They can. But they are going to play their character because their character is them. They're tied to it. That's who they are. But so that's who they are. That's what they're gonna do. They're fixated on the gross realm. That pa- that's part of their fixation is they are grounded here. They don't want to leave here. Yeah, they don't want to leave the gross realm. Yeah, you could say that in a way. You could say not in a way. Oh, they don't want to leave this physical place. Yeah, that's an attribute they have. The fallen angels, for sure. They don't want to leave this place. That is, yeah, that's the way it plays out for them on their side. That is an attribute of theirs. They don't want to like go to God or leave here or leave this script. That is something fallen angels have. 100% they have it. They identify with their character and all that they have and all that they know and all this stuff, and they fit perfectly into the Borg machine, into that slot, and that is who and what they are, and that's it. You see? So, yeah, they want to be in this gross realm, and they want to be that particular cog. You know what I'm saying? And and then that's the fallen angels. Non-player characters, yeah, they understand the gross realm, but they don't, and they're just scared about anything that's not the gross realm. You know what I mean? Like, what? How did that happen? You put a rabbit out of a hat. What the? I'm freaking out over here. What happened? Like the gross realm is where their consciousness is. They don't have it. Maybe there's a god. I don't know. What? There's no evidence, so I guess I don't know. Like that crew. you know, them. So they are tied to the gross realm, but that's kind of like the different way it plays out. Like uh the non-player characters, and I'm glad you brought up this point. This is a really good one. Frank or Gina, thank you. Because it plays out a little differently. So what you're vetting who's ever on the other side of the human body. You're like, who are you over there anyway? This is how you figured it out, yeah. Uh, so it is wanting to be tied here, and it's like you're mentally tied here to the gross from your non-player character, you know. And the other one is like, man, I know everything. I can get over the non-player character, man. I got a super cheat code. I can read minds. I don't have my memory. I know everything here. Like, I'm not giving up. Nintendo Gold Pass know everything up in the Nintendo realm. What are you doing? That would be stupid. That's that. That's the fallen angels. You see? Okay. So and they can read minds. Yeah. Fallen angels can read mind, not mine. Since I hit once you have got Christ consciousness, they can't read my mind. I've noticed that, but they can read every other individual's mind. They can't play the game properly with anyone unless they can read everyone's mind but mine. They can't make you move up. Yeah, they can't. They have to be able to do that. So what about the 7,000 or 12 or whatever you want to call them? What about them? Because that's where you're gonna fit in. Yeah. Let's turn the eyeballs around and look at us. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard this great saying the other day, a couple months ago, but it come to me. I heard it from the little grandson dude. His new saying is, "Don't you love it? Don't you love it?" That's his game. Don't you love it? Like when I'm telling you stuff, it's like, "Don't you love it?" It's like, go ahead and love it. It's God's game, so yeah, I should love it. So let's go into the 7,000 and 12, however many, cross over the line. Because I can't remember how many cross over the line. I got my memory right. What? Makes it more exciting, I guess, for the running the Velvet Rope. So one thing that happens for you, yeah, memory wipe. So that's same as the non-playing characters, but different than the Fallen Angels. Okay, memory wipe, memory wipe. You can go off the script. You're looking for information that's off the script. You're like, the script is BS. The script doesn't make sense. Eventually, you find out, what is this? Could you stop running that loop through the player piano? I'm going to strangle you. Shut up. It's like, no, we can't shut up. Okay, stop. Then it's like, no, we can't stop. It's like, okay, get me out of here then. Okay, if you can't stop, it can't change. Get me out. That's you. You went off the script. You, get me off of this. I like walking through the airport just on the ground. I don't like those walking things. Get me off the loop. Just I'm going to walk. In fact, I'm going to go back the other way. No. I'll go anywhere I want to. Okay. Uh, okay. So, like I was saying, and there's also a growing dissatisfaction with the gross realm. Yeah. Whereas, and so that's to Frank's point. Uh, Mike is stinks. I love it. That's funny. Yeah, it does sting. Yeah, the scorpions sting, and they sting the frogs and kill them. They just do because that's what a scorpion does. And only a scorpion can teach that frog. Some frogs are like, "Hey, don't go near that scorpion; it's going to sting you." And some frogs are like, "I'm going to go see if it stings you." Ow, shit! That thing sting. I did not die, thankfully. Could have though. I see your point. Hanging with scorpions, hey Mike. Um, get stung. The knowledge that you share, John, changes the script totally. Yes. And so let's continue to do that. Yes, 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 yes. These are the different existences that we're living. You see what I'm saying? And so then you can go, oh, okay. You can line up who you should spend time with, or if you're spending time with somebody, at least you know who you're spending time with. You just categorize them, and then you have a different type of interaction. You're not like, hey, guess what? All this cool stuff. We're gonna waste your time telling a non-player character a whole bunch of stuff. They'll be like, just gonna bounce off. What? That don't make no sense. That's why gathering together, if you're, living existence in the way that you are, is rare. Hey, I'm gonna gather together with people that are living my type of existence. Very, very rare. Okay. You see? So that's why to do it, because who you gonna spend time with? So, and in your time and in your actions, uh, you're gonna act differently, knowing who you're around. Okay. All right. So, and you can't read minds. You can't read minds. That's an attribute that you have, right? You can't stand there and just read somebody's mind. Kid, it's not an attribute you have. See, it's a different existence. Different existence. Uh, as I pointed out again for the upteenth time, asked again last night. I was like, you can stop them from reading your mind. You could just say like Jesus Christ over and over silently to yourself, and it'll block them from reading your mind. So there is spiritual technology, knowledge that I could possess, pass over to you, and you could use against the ones trying to read your mind. So God gives us some abilities here, powers to block their powers. So the subtle realm is about powers. Reading the mind is a power that they have, and it's one that you don't have. Okay, so different existence. Okay. The funnel is George, and George is here. All right. Is the very slow, very long progression something like Fallen Angels, NPC 7,000, from most to least powerful in the gross realm? Uh, is very slow, very long progression something like Fallen Angel to non-player character? Oh, I'm reading you. I'm reading you. I'm reading you. My bad. I'm taking this in. To the 7,000. Uh, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's non-player character Fallen Angel 7,000. That's what I think. Uh, because this is why I think that. Because uh, uh, this is the way Bear Mama said it. consciousness is never lost. Non-player character doesn't sit there and go, oh, wait to hear the truth. Oh, hey, rainbows prove we're inside a, crystal dome and Christ rose a dome. Non-player character blank, blanky, doink, right off, the invisible armor of non-knowledge that is blocking every truth from entering them. Will not go in. The invisible armor of non-truth, right? No way it's going in there for them to say, oh, hey, let me think about that, man. What? A fallen angel, yeah. They know exactly what you're up to and talking about. They know exactly, and they reject it. They reject it. They reject it. They're like, no, reject. Yeah. They're like, reject, reject. Yeah, reject. No. Like, we know what you're saying, John. Jack, whatever. Make up your mind. We know. See, their consciousness knows they could take it in mentally and go, no way, we got the superpowers. We got superpower over who? Non-player characters. They get powers over the ones beneath them in the hierarchy of movement forward of consciousness. So, yeah, no, okay. Okay, does that help? Does that help, George? Because this is about consciousness moving forward. Yeah, you can see. Oh, you have the consciousness to reject the truth. The other ones don't even have the consciousness to reject it. They're just not even going in there. It's like nothing. It's like you're talking to a it's like you're talking to a 3-month-old or something like that. It's like, and another thing, blah blah blah, blah. How come you don't say anything back down there? What are you, baby or something? It's like you're talking to a spiritual baby, whereas the fallen angels are like a spiritual child. They're rambunctious little, hellion over there causing problems. Whereas the baby's just like, I can't do anything. Just I'm following the script. You see, that is an advancement of consciousness, even though it's an advancing to, superpowers are great. What? Yeah, leaving's better. Okay, hopefully that clears it up, George. Good question. I see. Thanks to the 7,000 were previously playing fallen angel characters. Correct. Because they have head, but no heart. They got the script. They're like, I know everything. They got head and heart. We got heart. Heart means as a fallen angel, where you like, go kill that guy. The guy's like, man, I kill him. All I do is kill this guy every time in the script. All I know. And you're just like, no, I'm not gonna do it no more. And you for some reason something happens in your millions of billions of jillions of lifetimes, and you have a feeling, right? And you don't do something. You're given an order, you don't do it. And so you lose your role at some point, like the merit. So next time you're going to play a character, once you go off the script and you do that, you start head at heart. You start joining the head at heart. You see, oh, I'm gonna open up the heart realm. Oh, okay. Uh, and that's it. Okay, so and it's God tells you to do something, you're like, no, what are you smarter than me? And so it's really, the way back to home to God, to the Father, is by saying no to the Father. In other words, I know better. They become, you know, autonomous, like a child starts saying no to the parents and starts doing their own life. Yeah, it's normal and natural. At the end, you grow up and, oh man, it turns out my parents weren't as dumb as I thought, or it turns out my parents were really way dumber than I thought. They didn't know nothing, literally. Like, wait. Uh, so living these different existences, I'm trying to clear up what very delineated attributes each category has, so that you can make a very quick determination, especially if you know these existences, and over time these become internalized, so that very quickly you know from a distance who's who, what's what. You know, because you didn't know about these different existences. Now I do, and now I've known about them for an amount of time, so it's so much easier to know who's who. It's like, well, how do you tell birds apart? They're just a bunch of birds. It's like, well, a blue jay is blue. A blue jay is blue? What? So the blue jay, so that's how you tell a blue jay is. Oh, okay. Are there other kind of birds? It's like, yeah, well, flamingos are pink. What? You see? So their game is to enter the seventh. Yes, yes. That's why I'm constantly telling them, come on over here. What are you doing over there, Dumbo? What do you mean? What am I doing over here? What are you doing over there, stupid? Grace, I don't say those things to you because I've been hearing what's been happening around you. It's like, yeah, you're afraid of me. So that means I got power. You don't have the power. If you're afraid of me, you don't have the power. Well, I see you're all afraid of me. Women afraid to get with me. The dudes are, trying to be our fan, but hey, don't tell them anything or whatever. Try to use all our charismatic talents to keep them docile over there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So different existence for me. Okay, because I'm on my own category. Yeah. Memory wipe. Yeah, I got a memory wipe. Memory wipe. Why? Oh, your avatar. Wait. Hey, Dumbo, you get your memory wipe. Why would it have nothing to tell y'all if I didn't have my memory wiped? I'd be living an existence like them. What? No, you get your memory wiped up here. You see? Go play the game. Why? I said why. In God's presence, where you're actually in God's presence, God emanates love for God. So it's a singular reality. The only experience one has in God's presence is the experience of what God emanates. Your only experience is singularity. God is, bliss. God is everything. You're experiencing the singularity. Why? God is infinity. You're experiencing everything. You cannot experience more than every. There's no such thing as more than everything. You're experiencing everything. So all the bliss. You see? So let's see. Okay. What about it, my character, right? So memory wipe. Now what about the other things? Okay, I don't really have a love of the gross realm. You see it, not a big love of it. Like talking with Gypsy, I'm like, God loves me the best. He, I call myself the worst prisoner. He's like, you're not the worst prisoner. I was like, yeah. Who? I was like, what? Who would be the worst prisoner in a prison? What would be the one thing that would make a prisoner the worst prisoner? I'm like, he's like, I'm the worst. He's like, I tell me all the evil stuff. He said, I don't even want to repeat it. I've done all this evil stuff. I'm the worst friend. I'm not actually talking about your prison record in this, just tone down your evil litany, please, sir. Uh, anyway, uh, so it's like, no, the worst prisoner is the one that's been in the prison longest. They know everything about the prison. So if they want to, they can do the most damage in the prison because they have the most knowledge. That was my answer. So it's like that, of course. We, I've done the most evil stuff, so I'm the worst. Like, not really, because I've gotten out of the prison. You haven't. So I've actually done. We leave the prison. That's the worst thing you can do as a prisoner. You end your prisonership. I ended my prisonership, and yeah, it was a great prisonership. The term was a little bit infinite. Okay, so in my situation, well, let's talk about the reading of minds and the powers, reading of minds and powers, right? Uh, uh, eh, wait a second, wait a second. Oh, and the ability to go off script, right? I could go off script. Yeah, I I could go off script and on script. I know the script, and I can say this is what you don't want to do. Follow the script. Don't be your character. Come outside the script. Yeah. Okay. So I could go off script and I could help others off the script. Major, major difference. Major difference. I can show the script. I can say the script. I can say all of it. Non-player character, Fallen Angel can't do either one. Yeah, nope. And neither can you, really. You can only say it up to where you are spiritually. You can say off script. You can. You have an interest. You can do it. But you can only do it up to where you are spiritually. Yeah. Those are the experiences you have. Those are the only ones that, has sunk in and changed your consciousness. And the fallen angels can read your mind, and it's proven to them by your actions that, oh, they're living by knowing this consciousness. Okay. Okay. So that can happen to you to that level. But mine is off script and on script with the real script. You don't know it unless I tell it to you. You don't. See the difference? Okay. But what about this whole mind reading thing and stuff like that? I mean, it's so my mind isn't connected with the hive, the devil, whatever. They have a hive mind, and one of the attributes is, yeah, you can read every mind because it's a hive mind. So it's like your mind. My mind isn't a part of their hive mind anymore. So I'm unreadable because I'm not in the hive. I'm separate from the hive. Cross the line. You get it? I cross the line. Cross the line, become Christ. We cross the line. Cross, right? Oh, 64 year time. You cross. You waited, made it over the line, and that's it. Okay. So my consciousness is not about reading minds or anything like that. My mind's connected to God. So can I read their minds? If God tells me what's on their mind, I know it immediately. If it's relevant to know what's on their mind, they'll tell me. If it's relevant to tell me the answer to their question, I'll be told that. If it's relevant, I'm told what is relevant for my character to give the individual as I'm there at that moment. That's my character. Whoever it is, a fallen angel, non-player character, what is 7,000? My only goal is to move them forward to the door. Come to the you're at if you're speaking to me, you're at the velvet rope. Don't you get it? If you are interacting with me in any way, shape, or form, it's your judgment day. It is right then. It's your judgment day. You will be judged spiritually up to that point. Do you cross the line or don't you? You see? Do you? Right? I could tell from your existence what you're living over there whether you're going to cross the line or not. If I'm the one that lets you cross the line, I have to know the different existences and exactly where you are in the existences. I have to. You see? And if you're near the velvet rope and you want to cross over, you want to be on the other side and be able to see the other side and know it all, you have to see all the existences too and see which existence you want. You're like, none of them. Cross me over the line, please. Thank you very much. Okay? Infinite in the finite. That's correct. That's my situation. Their game, again, Alice. So it's the trickle up theory, right? Uh, someone, in other words, a character of Alan Poe. Maybe that character gets God every time, and so someone's going to play Alan Poe next loop. Yeah. And so, okay, someone gets out of here meeting, whether it's Alan Poe or another character, whether it's Mike or George. I'm not particularly singling one of you out as you're there. You're not gonna. I'm not doing that. I'm using this as an example, okay? But uh, I'm using Alan because he asked a question. Okay, so picture Alan. Okay, the character inside, the spirit, right? The reflection of the soul stuck in the firmament. Down here getting knowledge and returning to God. Okay. Okay, whoa, I won. Boom. I left the character Alan Poe and I'm with God. Okay. Well, who's going to play Alan Poe? The script don't change. So someone has to play that character coming from some other character. And so that means characters got to shift. Yeah. Someone's coming up from the bottom. Maybe the non player characters don't matter so much as some of them could be blah, 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 right? Fallen angels, they repeat their lifetimes many times. The ones that someone leaves here, though, regularly, or else what's the point? God's not wasteful. God is extravagant in the infinite, yeah, but not wasteful. Because if you have infinite, you're like, well, I'll just do a whole world and everything. I'll make it super hard to see through. It's like, yeah, well, but that isn't wasteful. If you have, infinite, and you could be infinite and draw from infinite, that's not wasteful. It serves a purpose to be very difficult, infinitely difficult. Hive mind always equals script, non-player characters of fallen angels fallen. Well said. Yes, you're getting this. So my mind and powers, uh, I don't have powers per se. I'm connected to God. Remember, actions produce karma. Actions produce outcome here. Actions, what you do, right? What you do, a prayer is doing something. Uh, what you do creates an outcome here. So your prayers create an outcome here. They do. So if God tells me to do something, God tells me to do something, I do it. Say this to them. It produces an outcome. You see, produces an outcome, karma based. So me doing what God says produces the outcome on the other side to move someone forward. You see, I do what God says. I don't know what to do at all. How would I know what to do? I am doing what God says perfectly. That's what happens when we get back to God. That's what I say. In God's presence, we follow God's orders perfectly as angels. Yes, we do. Perfect. And that's what, oh, you think you could do that out there? Let's put you on the playing field. We're set out here to do it and prove we're going to follow God's orders perfectly. And then we can return home. That's it. That's the game. You see? How could I not follow God's orders perfectly? What? That's being in the infinite. When you return to God, you follow God's orders perfectly. Even if God isn't giving orders, you still would. You see? That's all you want is your singular desires to do what God says. You have no desires outside of that. It's everything turned singular. There is no, hey, maybe I go to the beach today. Nope. You're in God's presence receiving infinite bliss, which is just like, how could you want something out of infinite everything excellent? What? Everything's a step down. So, okay. So, becoming Christ conscious wins the game because you're going to follow God's orders, meaning your karma is always going to be right. And so, game over. Game over. Me, you're right. That the cross is debits and credits. Your books are always going to be balance. You can't go out of balance. Can't go out of balance. You know the whole truth, right? It ain't going to throw me out of balance. It's not going to make me anything other than who I am. I'm always going to be this character. Wouldn't matter if I had 25 girlfriends or 25 boyfriends or had a castle or got billions of dollars or no, I'm still going to be my character because what? My character ain't going to do that stuff. Obviously, it's going to get thwarted. It's going to, oh, those things are good. Let me do the American dream. And in the script, your character gets denied, sucker. And you get pushed to the truth. And once you know the truth, you're like, Get me out of the dome. That's everyone's reaction. Wait, I'm a prisoner in a dome infinitely, and you blank my memory, and I'm always going to be hungry and thirsty and stuff. This place sucks. You make the best of it. Don't get me wrong. Everyone makes the best of it. Love our family, everything like that. But you become intolerant of being a prisoner. You're like, wait, God's on the other side and isn't coming here. I actually am here for God. So let me just I don't want the menu anymore. Just the one thing on the menu. Give me what number one? Just God. Okay. I don't need to see the menu anymore. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. You see? Okay, so those are the main important, easy, hey, I'm interacting with you. Uh easy to delineating from your side, from you your character playing the game, who's living what existence, and then you can categorize them and see, should I be listening to them? Is a fallen angel going to help you? Really, really? Yes, by making your life worse, by being a scorpion and stinging your back. Be like, hey, that thing hurt. Like, damn, a scorpion sting hurts. Ow! That's what you're going to learn. It's like, ah, shoot. How many times do you need to learn being stung by a scorpion? It's like that again. Ay, ay, ay. Jamie, a daily question to God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, remove my ignorance and what do I do? Yeah. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. That's it. That is the prayer you want. Bring the consciousness of what I should do into this noggin right here. I'm getting pissed off at you if you don't do it. How is it my fault anymore if you won't tell me what to do? You control thoughts, the whole world, everything is your fault, God, and I'm kind of pissed at you. And if you don't get pissed at God at some point, God knows you're withholding that feeling and knows you really don't love him enough to get angry with him. You see? Set the whole game up for you to get pissed. Are you going to throw a plate at God? Who's causing this thing for you to be out of the dough? God's like, I finally we get throwing plates on me. So you know I did it? Yeah, I know you did it. So why don't you let me out of here? It's like, oh, so there is a God. Yeah, there's a God. You're doing this. You're right. You see, you're saying there's a God. You're doing it for me. If you're not getting pissed at God, you're not saying there's a God. Well, it could be something else, whatever. No, it's God. God wants to know you passionately above all else. The only thing you want to do is get out of this dome. You must tell God. Who else are you going to be telling? Who's listening? Who can get you out of here? That's all that matters. Okay? And as a wrap up in here, how you doing in the dome? Yeah? Oh. Still want to stay? Okay, then you stay. All right, see ya. Yeah. Ah. Uh, getting those answers, I find a bit frustrating, honestly. Totally, totally. But let's use it. Okay. Let's use an example. Let's say you're in a coma for 10 years and you come out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this body is not functioning properly. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to start with a finger. Ow, 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 ah! You know what I mean? You're gonna have to. You have to. Ah, ouch. You have to exercise that with God. You have to work on it. You see what I'm saying? You're right. It's not hard. It hasn't been used before. It's an attribute you have, but it hasn't been used before. So you need to exercise it. You need to get it better. You need to work at it. So definitely, but working at it is the way that you make it happen. Well said. Okay, Mike. I left the oven. Let's see if I can get it out this time. I left the oven on with God, and I gotta go. Sorry. Not sorry. Exactly. And you really went with comedy in the end of it because you're like, you'd have me. I know I'm going to God. Your stuff have got me. Then they lose traction because fear is there, hey, be scared. It's like, hey, no. I got a joke for you, though. Perfect. George, the non-player character are a force multiplier for the fallen angels. Yeah, well said. Well said. They blindly apply the fallen angel script and rules mindlessly. That is why interacting with them is just frustrating. True. But if let's go to The Walking Dead, right? Hey, I cover myself in blood and dress up like a fallen angel, like a non-player character, like a Walking Dead. Hey, I'm one of you. And you can lead the pack over there. Yeah. Once you find out the rules and what's going on with the different existences, you're outside the script. You can move the horde. You can move. I move the hive. What? You watch it. If I come to new information, you'll see it pop out there on YouTube in the script or whatever. They're talking about it. I move the hive. I train the hive. I tell them when to move forward, and so do you by being a direct agent of mine. You see, oh, they're moving up. The ranks are moving up. Wow. They have a reaction to it. They're allowed to, hey, we got to lie about this in a new way. They know something, so let's start lying about. Everybody lie about trust. I want hundreds of channels out there. I want thousands, tens of, hundred millions of views. Oh, trust. Let's go. Right. Where were those things before anyway? The reason why the bankers have to ask the attorney for anything outside of their script. Yeah. Well, they're playing a character too, and they are like a cog. They can receive, they get the overall hive information, and but they have to still perform their character. They identify what keeps them grounded somehow as a fallen angel is their character. Otherwise their consciousness would spit off, would it somehow keeps them grounded in that do this, do that, so their actions have relevance because their character has meaning. This whole game cannot operate without the characters, so that gives their life meaning. So yeah. Order followers. That's right. They follow the order. It's not just order given, right? It's the order. An order is the order of things, right? That's another word for a script, is the order of things. Yeah, the natural order. That's the script. Yes. Like the Evan trick always works. Hey, I'm like, oh, that was good comedy. Get in here, Mike. That's who's at the gate? Who's at the gate? Who's at the Velvet Room? What's your joke? All right, you're in here. Oh, you're super sweet. Okay. You don't have no joke? Okay. You're really that sweet? All right, get in here. Get in here. But the joke, you got it with a joke. True. Smart guy. It is smart. It is truly, 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 truly super smart. It truly is. Uh follow following angels. Yeah. Okay, so the five perfect masters are, that's the existences that they live in. Now let's sort of, I guess, relate the existences to our situation. Yeah, how we doing on time? Okay, man, we did over an hour. It took me so long to get that out. What's wrong with me? Ah, okay. I'm going to say a couple more things and then we'll wrap it up. I had no idea I was going to talk about this today, honestly. 1 hour and a half or 2 hours before this, I'm like, God, I'm worn out. I don't know. And it's like, just start typing, start writing. Crazy. It is. God is amazing. Okay, so what's my real name, right? I don't know. What's my real name? If everything revolves around the avatar and runs everything, then wouldn't I be like the North Pole? Wouldn't I be like, am I the pole? Is my name Pole, right? Or is my name North, right? With Ed is really a Z, right? So Z North is Z or the cross, right? Is the devil or and then what's H? H is really, if you look at H, is sort of an infinity symbol with the tops off. So it's really a line in the sand on the two sides. Is my name North? Is my name Satan? I do know everything. Like the guy that says the name of yeah, who am I? Like, no, I met with my shadow. So uh anyway, so over time, how does this place run? You see, the script will always be the five perfect masters are running things until they get me woken up, and then the place runs around me. So my prayers have meaning. The spiritual hierarchy, at the top of the spiritual hierarchy, my prayers have the most effect. But then there's a hierarchy. Your prayers, you're in it. You're way up it. What? Your prayers have a huge effect, and your actions. So I don't do miracles, neither do you, right? But if you pray and you perform some actions, some miracles happen. It was like, whoa, you're the performer, you perform miracles. God does miracles. So our job is to understand the spiritual technology in here to perform miracles and move the script forward to God. What what do you like? What do you mean? Reveal that God is real by, breaking the script so the, the fallen angels and non-player characters go, oh, what? The existence of God is proven in their presence, affects the hive. You see the same when I go into the courtroom and you're like, we don't want you back here. Uh, and the bailiffs are frozen solid and time stops. Time stops, right? And I walk out of there. Time stops in certain areas, right? Because if I don't exist, if I don't exist, my shadow can exist. Everything in here is my shadow. Everything is a consciousness lesser than the consciousness of God. So everything's my shadow. And so if I don't exist, then the finite doesn't exist. If the infinite isn't in here expressing itself, infinitely in the finite, then the finite, then the finite, the infinite finite, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So what happens is when my existence is threatened, the infinite does step in. The timeless, time stops because the infinite steps in and makes sure that I don't cease to exist. That's why time stops. Because without my character, this place doesn't exist. And so the infinite, I can, by performing certain actions, make the infinite step in and make me not be threatened to die. You see, proving the existence of God. My main character role, obviously. So that's the different characters, all right? And different existences. All right. I hope that helps in categorizing very clearly who's who and what's what, giving you knowledge of having much easier interactions out there. Because when I gather with you, I see what issues you're having out there. You see what I'm saying? And I don't break it down like, oh, I'm having this issue in my relationship with money, with, I don't think of it like that. You see what I'm saying? I think of it like, oh, they are lacking certain information. And if they have that information, then the issues they're having, they can sort them out real easy. Yeah, knowledge is power. What knowledge are you lacking over there? Interacting with y'all. Oh, let me process that and come back with what knowledge will help move you past the issues that you told me you're having. You see? And so this, what I call the different existences, this, this will help clearly move you forward. Okay. God give it to me. I know. Uh, so what can't be wiped, right? Meeting with God. Meeting with God. God is real. This place is fake. So things from here, memories wiped. Yeah, memories wiped. But the real, it don't get wiped. You go be with God. I remember it was like it was happened 2 seconds ago. Nothing is ever. It doesn't fade. It doesn't fade. You see. I met with God. I touched that tube, and it never fades. It will never fade. The real doesn't fade. That's how you have the existence in the finite of the infinite. It doesn't fade. It's not fading. It's real. It doesn't go away. It's permanent. What is not real mean? It's not permanent. Real is permanent. Doesn't fade inside of you. Permanent. Okay. Funny thing I've been thinking. I brought this up once or twice before over last couple of years. I know I done it. But I'm gonna go straight at it because the other side finally brought it up to my face. So what how to say this, boy, how to say this. First time, yeah, okay. I told the story of allocution. I don't want to go through that again because we're getting near the end of our time together today. But I went, the courtroom in Raleigh. I said allocution. I walked out of that courtroom and I wasn't followed. I wasn't followed. I wasn't chained up. I wasn't thrown in jail. I did not say the name of God. I didn't say Jesus Christ. I did not say God. I didn't say Jesus. I didn't say Buddha. I didn't say any of the words in the script that is God or Jesus Christ or any name of God for any religion or anything like that. I did not say any of those things. I did not say none of those things. And yet, in front of 500, right? I walked out of there and no one followed and no one touched me. And that's a fact. And I met with God. I felt God's bliss. And that second, infinite bliss hit me like, there's a complete waterfall going straight for the dome onto me. Look at him. Uh, so, what did I say that day? Let's see if you can get this. What did I say that day? What did I say? Anyone? Let's see. Then I'll just say I'll give you a hint. A gypsy brought this up yesterday to me, so that's why I'm saying it today. I'm saying this today because you brought it up to me yesterday. So the hive has let me know it's time to say this for real because we're coming up. We're in the last 8 years, so I'm going to say it. Yeah. What did I say the day in I go into court, right? What did I say in that courtroom? What did I say? You said something like I am one with God. I didn't say God. I didn't say Jesus Christ. I'm saying I did not say those things. This is in what is it, 2010 or something like that? Occupy. I went in there and I was like, I followed, you know, we get in court, they how the process goes. And I explained it. Here's my paperwork, all this stuff and all that. At the end I used the allocution. I said, this court doesn't have jurisdiction over me. And unless you can come up with a claim against me, I'm leave it. I walked out of that building and nobody said a word and never touched me, never nothing. And I walked out of there, and that was it. And I felt the bliss of God. I met with God that's in that second when I relied totally on God. I did not say God. I'm not saying one with God. I did not say Jesus Christ. I did not say anything in any religious script whatsoever. I did not say it. Okay. Right. You asked the judge who would that was a more recent court case. I'm talking about super long ago. Well, I was in there for a criminal case, and I used an allocution based on uh all right, I might have to tell this story. No, Alan. Okay, I'm gonna tell the story real quick. This is a good one. You're gonna like this one. This is an important one, okay? This is a very important one. What I'm gonna say to you is very important. Okay. This is during Occupy, and I was in a Volkswagen van, and they had me on a 1 gram weed charge or something like that. So it's like I'm going to use my time in this courtroom and interacting with you to advance spiritual technology. Or I wasn't thinking spiritual technology at the time, but any technology that will beat you, I'm going to try. Everything I find on the internet, everything I find, I'm going to use against you, and I'm going to try and beat you. And that's what I did. I tried to use everything I could. And in the end, I had to go to court. During Occupy, I was staying at Raleigh. I invited all of Occupy. Hey, I got to go to court today. You all are badasses. We're against the government. I said, who's got the balls to go with me down to the courthouse right now? Walking distance. I walked. Left my van there locked up. And I walked down there. No one came. Cowards. All of them fallen angels. All of them non-playing characters. It's just me. And I go down there. And I stand there, couple hundred people. This is in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is their largest courtroom in the state of North Carolina. It's the capital, Raleigh, right, capital of the state, and it's right on their main street. They literally have like NBC News is the building across the street from with all these things, like they're opposed to one another. And there's a line in that door in the beginning of the early in the day, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in this courtroom, say 300, uh, and there are at least 50 lawyers and at least 50 cops all at the same time in this one courtroom. The judge is way up on this dais, this woman, and I'd give the paperwork and stuff, all of this stuff I could find, and I'm sitting there, and sh- we're going back and forth, right? What happens? You get in there, but John McCaig, and I stand up, hey, Your Honor, that doesn't apply because, and I have a piece of paper, so that doesn't apply. We're going back and forth, and so the bailiff was standing next to her. Eventually, we have a couple back and forth. The bailiff standing next to me, touching my arm, that close, touching me, leading into me, touching me, while I'm trying to talk to the judge, like I'm going to murder you if you keep talking like this. As I'm speaking, literally, uh, walks right over to me and does that while I'm speaking. Walked over to me first to like take the piece of paper, was going to grab the piece of paper to be the judge. Judge is like, don't take that piece of paper. Don't take that. Don't take that. And then that's when he comes over and sits next to me. She ain't taking no paperwork. And she's like, and she's finally screaming her head off at me. Okay. And the cops and the lawyers who are all just over there, like basically asleep. You know what I'm saying? Those like we're sitting in their section over there, and all the slaves, hundreds of them are in here. They're like next to get destroyed. Anyway, it's my turn, and I look over, and the lawyers and the cops are awake. They're like looking. The judge is screaming her head off. Okay, lost her mind, red, losing it, totally lost her fucking mind, screaming at me. And so I had written down an allocution. And I had read about it. And I'd read about this event and what an allocution was. And this dude, this character, Okay, this character uh, from Little Bighorn, right? Little Bighorn. Oh, the Indians killed. They killed the U.S. government that day, right? Yeah. Who's the main guy running it? Is what's that dude? Uh, with the blonde hair, the character. Okay, so while he's at West Point, being a cadet before he got murdered by the Indians, this character, okay? He's at West Point, in a military academy. And to get in the military academy, you sign the rules of war. And then that's one of the things you do. Okay, you're a student. Uh, the military rules, you sign them. Rules would be at West Point. Okay, sign them in. And so one of the rules was no dueling, no dueling. You can't duel. And if you duel, hanging offense. You get killed. You get killed for it. It was a hanging offense. There were no other lesser, uh, uh, you know, uh, judgments on it. So, uh, crap, what's his name? Custer. Thank you, Custer. So Custer's, uh, he goes. Has a duel. He's a freshman, first year at at West Point. Gets in a duel, murders the guy. They have gets court-martialed, and they find him guilty. You killed him in a duel, which isn't illegal, actually, out in the real world. Then you had a legal duel. One guy died. That's not murder. That's not against the law. You see what I'm saying? But at West Point, it's against the law of going to West Point, and it's a hanging offense. You're in the military now, so our rules apply to you. Yeah. So he gets convicted, and I go, okay, you're convicted. And that's when he raises his hand. So, oh, hey, uh, that's when he gives his allocution. I didn't sign that rules of war. I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, I didn't sign that. I didn't sign the contract to go follow your rules of war and shit. I didn't find it. I didn't sign it. I go, yeah, everybody signs it. He goes, go get it out of his file. Wasn't there. He didn't sign it. So, although he was convicted, yeah, didn't get hung. Died later by the Indians. So, my point being, right? Hey, I didn't sign anything to give you the power to say I could go in jail. I didn't say these rules apply to me. I'm walking out. And I walked out of that courtroom and no one touched me. And time stopped right then. And I walked out. And I walked out into the bliss on the road and walked back to Occupy. I was like, you missed it all. I was standing there in the bliss, like half maniac. You seen me? You've been to India. I'm like, oh, fucking, you didn't even come. I found God. It was right down in the courtroom. Anyway, so that's the backstory. Again, what did I say? What did I say? What did I say that was spiritual technology that prevented them from following me, right? What did I say? Let's go back here. Life in the body of the who are the that was a different quote. Okay. Did you say I'm human? No. Okay. I'm here to find out whose God is more powerful. No, Custer, yeah. No, that's what my guess was going to be right now. Lieutenant George Custer. Yeah, that's the one, George. Uh, okay, so we're back to the question. Okay, that's enough backstory. You ain't got, hey, I don't know the backstory. You know the backstory. This is a spiritual question that can advance you or not advance you. We'll see, right? We'll see. What did I say? What did I say? What spiritual technology did I say? What did I say? What did I say? Come on, you didn't. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? You really not know who I am at this point still. You still don't know who I am. Really, 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 really don't know who I am. Really. Yeah, I did say those things, but what was the spiritual technology that I used that was not those things in regular English? What did I use? What do I tell you is the all powerful spiritual technology? What is it? What is the only thing that we have? What spiritual technology do we have? I left you. I left you. Oh God, Mike, thank you. Come on, come on. Listen, 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 listen. You're overthinking this in a way. You're in a courtroom. What gets said? No, no, no. Let's say it like this. I'm in a courtroom in Raleigh, North Carolina. What do they say? What do they say? You can do this. Say it, George. Say it. Write it down. George has got it. But type it out. Who's going to win? Who is going to win? This is a good one right here. I got a velvet rope in my hand at this moment. George. Oh, baby, George. They said John McCaig. That's correct. Who am I? Who am I really? I said the name of Christ. They did. They said it. They said the name of Christ. My name. You see? And that's what Gypsy brought up last night. He's like, "What is a spiritual technology? What is the name of God?" He's like, he looks at me. He's like, "Is it your name?" I was like, "You've heard me. I said this before. I said this before. But look at the hive wasn't allowed to say it. And here you are saying it. Look at you. Well done, George. You did it, George. Good. You see us say it. You see us say it. The shadow knows. The shadow knows. You said I couldn't say it. I would have taken all the power away. You follow? So, what technology is there really for us available? You see what I'm saying? What really is? What can crush the script and bring us to the other side? Uh, we need evidence. We need evidence, evidence, evidence. Form a hypothesis, right? Conduct experiments and see what happens. Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're going with today's thing. Okay. All right. What? I, what do you think I was going to say? Never what you think. Never what you think. I don't know. I don't have no. I have some information on that, but I don't. I'm just giving you the information I have. Like I say, form a hypothesis, conduct experiments, and see what the outcome is. You see, that's the way to have actual knowledge on video. We can share it. Okay. All right, everyone. That was a lot for me to get out. You're doing great. I know that things aren't easy, so I tried to give these existences to you so that you can determine how you're going to spend your time and with whom. Okay? It's up to you. All right. In case you didn't know this, Christ loves the ones who are coming through the door or trying to. Yeah, I love each one of you. I do. Excellent lessons. Thank you. God bless you. All I hear, Jesus Christ saved. Yes. Let's say a prayer for each other, right? Continue on the pathway home to God. And that's all I want for you. God bless you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the support. You can see where we're going. We're going home, right? Go home to God. That's where we're headed, right? And I'm here to help you have that experience, right? It's not about entertainment, it's about attainment, right? So when I'm dancing a zicker, right? I want to bring this up too. Sorry. Uh, oh man, I had a bunch of other stuff to go up. But the zicker also It's Zikr, also spelled Dhikr. The practice of remembering and praising God through repetitive vocalizations, chantings, or movement. So, my method of remembering God, and also, you see, it's saying if I'm one with God, that separates the other ones away from me. So when I go dance in the drum circle, which is a circle, is the shape of the world, and right, it's got a center point where they put the flowers. That's the devil's kingdom right there, the devil's castle, and so we're in there dancing the game. You see, I just remember my time with God, one with God. That's all I'm trying to have, that remembrance of being one with God, and initiate it if possible. Bring me back home. So you understand why I'm doing it. All right. JB, my recent land title submission has your name on several documents Alan came up with. This should be interesting. This is a smart lady up in the north. I'm telling you, she's a force of nature when you meet with her. Woo! Very intelligent lady, doing a lot. And same with Alan, like she said, get it done. It should be interesting. And that's what I'm saying. This technology, what can we use? You see, to say, what can we use? What wins? I don't care. I only care what beats them. I just care about that. What 6 feet is your rule? So 6 feet. Easy, go back there. Unless I give you an order, 6 feet. Okay. Yeah, exactly, JB. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for the support. Thank you for your movement forward. Thanks for hanging in there today. Took me a while to get it out. I apologize. I'm trying to give you what you need, but not too little. Everything that you need and nothing left out. Okay, I'm doing my best. So, God bless you, and we'll pray for each other. And I'll see you next week. Okay. God bless you, each one of you.